I'm just gonna do this. Whoopee, whelpa, whelpa. Hello to anyone. So recap time. And then afterwards, depending on like how much we read, like I really want to get to chapter 40 by the end of this, but like I really doubt it. I mean, we did read chapter 36 apparently. So I think if we lock in and for 4 chapters with how many pages? It doesn't tell me, but with a few pages, if I just do this in like the next 30 minutes and read a lot of words per minute, I'll finish. Oh, not finish, but like get to 40. So, last time on Hall 17, test tube, OJ escaped. Test tube was panicking, so now she got on the trip because everyone's going to see OJ. And during that trip, she brought her weapon, and when OJ was responded, she pointed it at me phone, making him like not tell everyone straight away when he recovered that she was the one behind it all. And then test tube supposedly forgot something. What she's actually going to do is kill off me phone. So yeah. And that's what you missed on Hall 17. Paper picked up a pair of headphones, looking at them. Alright, I think this is the last thing. Where should I put them? He asked, turning to suitcase. Maybe it's, oh fuck. Okay, well, it restarted me again. Maybe it was it? No, yeah, we're on 36. Okay, really should have thought about that. Okay. Lightbulb tapped on the floor beneath her, fingers collecting bits of dust as they repetitively, I cannot say. Just wanted to say hi, but I can't say, I think you meant stay. Sadly, I'm busy right now. I'm sorry I haven't been in streams lately. It's okay. Yeah, stuff happens in real life. Okay, so just live your life. It's okay. Thank you for stopping by and saying hi. At least I know you're okay. Also, did watch Skate the Infinity. I did watch that. And it was awesome. I don't know if I told you that. I think I did. I don't know. It's been a while. Cool guy. Hi, cool guy. I'm just reading. What doing? Hi, Mason. I'm reading, and then I'm gonna get to chit chat if I strain my voice too much and need a break. So yeah, I'm just reading Hall 17. I was watching improv stream while waiting. I noticed improv stream. What? It was really fun. Improv stream. Who was improving right now? I want to check that out. Who was improving? Anyway, I need to continue reading because I locked in. I locked in for once, and I want to get to chapter 40. That's the goal. Or finish or get to chapter 40. Because if I have to get to chapter 40, that just means I have to read 4 chapters. I think. 3? 4? I don't know. To get to it. So I don't know. I like looking for small live streams. That's nice. Yeah, that's what we do. We just see a small content creator and you're like, oh, click. Just watch what they're doing for a little bit. You know, that's nice to give them some support because they're not really they don't have many, but they are like considering in this whole space of YouTube, they're just small little content creators. Sonny, you're improv silly. You were rewatching the improv stream. Okay, I guess that explains why the likes keep. You just rewatch it for fun. Okay. And now I gotta lock in again. For one, OJ and Trophy both hadn't been seen since they left their rooms, which was 2 days ago now. 2. Test Tube had come in at 3 in the morning last night to bring Pepper and Tissues back in, even though Tissues usually resided 15 or so rooms away. And 3. She had never forgotten about a meal before, let alone 2. Her tapping grew more rapid, but stayed just as silent. The room was pitifully quiet. They knew where the conversation would go to the moment someone spoke, but no one wanted to be the person to start in. Lightbulb did a bit of mental preparation before speaking up. Shouldn't Test Tube be here by now? She asked, not looking up. It's past lunch by now. Yeah, she should be, Soap said, sitting down on her chair. She's been acting weird lately, don't you think? Maybe she's busy with something else, Tissue suggested. What did Cool Guy say? I didn't see that. Yeah, where do they all go when you go to the next character? In my head. I don't know. What are you talking about? Maybe she's busy with something else, Tissue suggested. Like what? I don't know. I can't think well on an empty stomach, he sighed, laying down on his back and staring at the ceiling. It wasn't crazily low or anything, but it definitely should have been higher. It looked as if it had sunk down due to the weight of the ground. Tissues didn't know if that was how it actually worked, but it looked like it, so he believed so. Pepper scribbled down something before handing it to Soap. What if the Trophy and OJ situation is tied in with this? What if Test Tube's occupied with something to do with them? That makes a lot of sense, actually. I thought we all knew that already, commented Tissues. Huh? No, we didn't, Lightbulb said, looking up for the first time in the conversation. Did you? Should have spoken up about it. Sorry, that was kind of rude. Can I rephrase that? No. It's fine, Tissues said, looking away. I like your profile picture. Thank you. It's just my OC. Although I made this like in very long time ago. I'm probably gonna change it like in fall though. So improv, you don't think about it. Like once I switch characters, the characters go back to their timeline and just reset for a different mindset. I haven't done an improv stream in a while. I don't know, I might have that for like August's streams being that. 3 Eyes, yeah, 3 Eyes. It's also on my like person OC. This is the object OC. This is I have object OC, and then I have person OC, and the person OC is kind of just like my actual like persona for the YouTube. The YouTube, I say. The YouTube. I like 3 Eyes is actually just like an idea I had. So instead of actually having glasses, I just like, okay, I have to have better vision. 3 Eyes it is. So yeah. Soul, yeah, Soul. Oh, like BFDI? Did you mean BFDI or BIFD? BIFDI? Yeah, like object shows. I watch object shows. I'm in the OC. And that's what I'm reading right now. Hall 17, II fanfic. Well, maybe we can try to figure out what test tube might be occupied with, Soap suggested. No one disagreed, or at least no one said they disagreed, so she continued. All right, Pepper, do you know what you were brought in for? That might be able to help us figure it out. Pepper nodded, writing it onto the piece of paper. She spent a while jotting it down, but she wrote it quickly. She handed the piece of paper over to Soap once she was finished. Soap cleared her throat, looking over at the text to read it out loud. Test tube didn't say anything to me, but she said something to Trophy about this being one of OJ's usual tests, whatever that means. I just, I was asleep for most of it, and had a scar around my head when I woke up. I didn't notice anything different besides that. OJ's usual test. That means the weird liquid swapping again, right? Lightbulb noted. Soap hummed a yes in response, thinking about it. The last time he did one, it was, well, me, she said, disturbance lacing her voice. And if Pepper was brought in, she trailed off, and she didn't need to finish the sentence for Lightbulb to get it. Oh, but she didn't, Lightbulb said, looking back down. I'm sorry, did I miss something? I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Tissues interrupted. It's better if you don't, Soap muttered, resting the side of her face into her hand. Pepper didn't understand what they meant either, but she had the feeling she didn't want to. Then again, it would be useful to know what she avoided. She scribbled down some more words onto the paper, handing it over to Soap once again afterwards. Per usual, she began reading it. I don't know what you guys mean, but whatever could have happened to me, do you think it happened to Trophy instead? Soap read, looking over the words carefully. I don't think that would be possible. What part would she even use? I think we can cross that off the list, thankfully, she said the last word with relief, but somehow still managed to sound stressed at the same time. Good suggestion, though. Does anybody else have any ideas? What if I made it off-budget ripoff of one called Inside My Series? What? What if I made it What if I made it off budget ripoff of one called Inside My Series? I'm confused. You're talking about like some sort of series. So you're talking about a ripoff of something called the series called. Okay, I'm not gonna question it. I gotta lock in. The room went dead silent. Soap sighed. All right, understandable. Figuring out what happened won't stop it, you know, Tissues muttered, kicking his feet in the air loosely. Soap was the one who didn't respond to this time, turning onto the screwed-in desk and looking down at it. She was draining mentally, and she knew it too. She had been this entire time. She was just seeing how long it would take for her to snap at this point, and how quickly her presence was depleting. Something told her it wouldn't take long. Test Tube speed walked through the building, trying to get to be as hastily as possible. She had to admit, this wasn't the safest move. In fact, this would probably out her as the kidnapper as soon as Mifun 4 realized what she was doing. But she had no other ideas. She was desperate, and desperate times call for desperate measures. I did not... Okay, well, I already knew I was going to start reading this. A. Off-brand character is called A. There's already a series where A is a character. A is for Apple. I better not get copyright. B is for boy. It's like it's what is A is for? A is for. It's A is for. A is for is a series. It's an object show. A is for shape world. She noticed a couple of workers walking down the halls, but none of them seemed to pay her any mind. That was preferable, as all she had to do was speed past them and they'd forget that she ever walked by in a couple minutes. Her palms felt a bit clammy, but she pushed that feeling aside. Having a good memory was useful, especially in situations like these. It didn't take long for her to arrive at the revival room. Walking into the unlocked door, she beelined to her bag. Beelined? What? Hello to you back. I'm sorry, I was gonna say something else. I was gonna say hello, but then I was like, oh, hello, not hello. So, hello to you, Yang Plays. I'm just reading Hall 17. Oh yeah, I gotta do. Yeah, because yeah. How is everyone? Yeah, because I keep forgetting about that. I think it's fair enough to ask how you guys are doing because yeah. She picked up a small bag she had forgotten and wore it around her shoulder. Walking out the mere moments after she entered, beads of sweat went down her forehead, but that was fine. If she just ignored every bit of her that screamed no, she could push through it and solve every problem OJ decided to cause. Hello, BFDI fan! It's been a while. Thank you so much for helping me have a smile on my face and also motivating me to animate this. This is kind of random. You're welcome, Mason. And thank you for I don't know for I guess everything for popping by and being a nice person who stops by every stream. I feel like I want pizza rolls. That's fair. I haven't had pizza rolls in like a month. You know what? Like I typed something for inanimate improv. They're doing like something. They're doing this game show. It's called Show Off. And like while the contestants were competing, I kept spamming the word pizza roll. I was like, you know what? Pizza rolls. Because it just reminded me of that time you were on a stream. Or yeah, like on a stream and you were like talking about pizza rolls. So then I kept spamming the word pizza rolls. Everyone take an cookie. Everyone take an cookie. And cookie. And cookie. 1, 2, 3, 4 cookies. So 1 for BFDI fan. 1 for the person oh yeah, there's I think Yang Plays. 1 for Mason. And 1 for Cool Guy. I think. Yeah. That makes sense. Everyone gets an cookie. Yummy, says BFDI fan. Which it is. Cookies are yummy. Having a good memory was useful, especially in situations like these. It didn't take long for to arrive to a revival room. Walking into the unlocked door, she beelined to her bag. I don't know what beelined means. She didn't have time to waste if she didn't want the suspicions to be raised any higher than they already were. She picked up the small bag she had forgotten and wore it around her shoulder, walking out mere moments after she entered. Beads of sweat went down her forehead, but that was fine. If she was ignored every bit that of her that screamed the no, she could push through it and solve every problem OJ decided to cause. He was OJ. She'd give him that, for now, at least, but she wouldn't give him the satisfaction of winning. Not when she had so much time to do. So, sorry, I messed up that line. Not when she still had so much to do. She went down the hall, following the directions Mifon 4 had given the group. As she came closer, it became more and more obvious it was his office. She slowly creaked open the door, ignoring how it dragged against the floor. Mifon 4's office clearly looked nicer than the others. Testube knew that before she had ever seen the other offices. Inside the office was the man himself, who had already turned to look at her. Hello? Oh, hi, Testube said, striding over to where he was. She didn't have time for small talk. She stood awkwardly in front of him for a couple of seconds. So, are you going to say why you're here, or... Before Mifun 4 could finish his sentence, Testube shoved him to the ground, purposefully going down with him. She put her hand on one of his volume buttons, holding it down until he went silent. She could see his mouth moving, but not a single word came out. Perfect. Oh. Well, test tube, this is how you, get, how many more? 20, 19 more chapters going. Sorry I haven't been here a lot. I've been playing a lot of Super Smash Bros. That's fair. Video games are addicting. He tried to push her off, claw at her sides, but she didn't let him. She grabbed both his wrists into one hand, holding it above him as she did her work. She unlocked the lock screen. It was more or less just swiping up due to the lack of a password. Oh, oh well. She tried swiping through the phone, but it didn't let her. Weird. Well, maybe she could. She grabbed one of Miphone's wrists and her hands, moving it. She had one in each hand. It was hard to keep her grip without how much she was struggling, but it was fine. She was stronger than she looked, anyways. That is for sure. I'm sorry, this is just unlocking me like a bunch of memories to episode 14. She moved his hand to the screen, swiping the screen left with it. It moved perfectly fine. Well, wasn't that a smart security idea? Too bad it didn't work. Oh well. Okay. She moved. Well, wasn't that a smart security idea? Too bad it didn't work. Well, in this situation, too well in this situation. Okay, well, I really gotta. Because sometimes I read the sentences and then I'm like, oh no, it's meant to be said like this with these words going forward, you know? Test tube, using Mifone 4's hands, went into the settings app. She scrolled through the selection of apps until she found the one she wanted, Respawn Center. So maybe she was going over the top with this, and maybe this could backfire on her. And maybe, just maybe, it was a terrible plan that wouldn't work, but she tried it regardless. She clicked on the app's profile, opening up a new set of buttons. She swiped down or up, if you want to look at it that way, until she saw the button. Test2 wasn't exactly good with technology. Sure, she had what she'd consider basic knowledge of it, but past that, she didn't understand much. That's most likely why she never understood why they had an entire button to delete data on some apps. She thinks she understands now, though. She tapped on the button, not bothering to read the warning. A small loading wheel popped up in the middle of the screen before disappearing. Success! She smiled to herself, but she wasn't quite done yet. She took out her phone, taking a picture of the message before sliding it back into her bag. Next, she went back into the settings, scrolling upwards, this time rather than down. She quickly found the other button she was looking for, memory. Once she selected it, however, a weird menu popped up. At first, she was confused, but she quickly realized it was due to MiPhone 4 being, well, alive. Yeah, I think she kind of forgot about that, because the way this is being described. Just, I don't want to imagine how this looks right now. So, Test2 pushed MiPhone down, pushing him down while holding his hands with one hand, and then holding one hand now because she's using his hand. So grabbing his hand, like his legs must be kicking back though, right? So how does that look? I don't want visuals for this part because I'm overthinking it, but still visuals would help kind of, because yeah, but like in this scene I can't really how. And the way, like, describing how MiPhone was fighting back. MiPhone, she is literally made out of glass. What are you thinking? Why can't you just shatter her? It's that simple. This shouldn't be that difficult to fight with. And also, he could spawn whatever he wants. Also, you would think that he would have security or something. The menu functioned oddly, but she got the hang of it in a short time. She selected the past few 10 minutes, choosing a good amount for safe measure. Maybe they made it too easy to delete stuff. She selected delete. The warning message popped up once more, and she passed it off as she did last time. She watched as MiPhone 4's screen turned off, and she stepped away. Before she could walk out, however, she noticed a small gem lying right beside him. Oh, this is literally episode 14, isn't it? She strode over cautiously, looking at it without touching it. Was just like one of those in the cave challenge. Is this where he got them from? She shook it off. That would be an experiment for another day. She grabbed some gloves from her blag. Blag? What's a blag? I'm sorry. I was trying. I think I was trying to do a Rocky impression at the same time of saying bag. A blag. Anyway, she zipped the bag, walking out and down the hall. She knew she didn't have to rush again, having everything out of the way, but she speed walked by impulse. Maybe it made it obvious she had done something. No, she was overthinking it. No one would notice something as small as her walking fast, right? Walking her small. What? No one would notice something as small as her walking fast. What's the height difference between the Meeple technologies and the contestants? Like, like, I don't get it. Wait, what? How much of a height difference is that? Hello, test tube. She flinched, spinning around to see who it was. Oh, hey, me pad, you scared me. Test tube remarked. When had she gotten behind? What? Blah blah blah. I messed up. When had he gotten behind her? There was an awkward pause before she continued speed walking down the hall, keeping the same haste she had before. Maypad had no trouble keeping up with her pacing, walking behind her. I believe your friends have already left. Plus, you seem to be in a hurry. How come? Meatpad asked sincerely. Test Tube steadied her breathing, trying to make herself sound believable. I don't think that's going to work for you. I mean, I guess you're a pretty good actor so far because you've managed to keep up this whole thing and make sure you don't sound suspicious. You're like, how? I sure do wonder where those missing people went. I sure do wonder. Yeah. I believe your friends are already, but yeah, I read that. Okay. Oh, I left my bag inside and went to grab it. I just don't want to leave the others waiting for long. That's how she said it, okay? She couldn't bring herself to. Continuing to stroll down the hall. Oh, I understand then. But next time, don't be afraid to ask for help finding it. You're supposed to have left a few minutes ago, so I feel inclined to escort you out. I hope you understand. Test Tube had to keep herself from letting go of what the heck, go of the breath she was holding in. He bought it. She smiled triumphant. Okay, I'm good. Ooh, gee, I sure wonder. Oh no! Welcome back to Sunny. My name is not Sonny. Why did I call myself that? I was trying to say, okay, welcome back to I cannot pronounce even my own fucking name. Trying to pronounce words again. Today's word is triumphant. This happens every time. I feel like this never gets old. Actually, it has gotten old, hasn't it? Because I feel like I've been struggling with trying to say words for a while now. Triumphant. I'm good. I am trying here. I am really trying here. Triumphantly. Triumph. Because it's PH, so it's fa. You mean Sunny D? Get it? Because there's a drink called Sunny D. Sonny D. It's Sonny. I actually like a little lore, like the first like subscribers know what this old channel name was. You want to know the old channel name? Like because my OC is called Soul, and I was just like, Solia. So originally Soul's name was just supposed to be. I don't know. I didn't give them a name. I wasn't thinking it. I guess that the old channel name was why I named Soul because the old channel name was Solia, which I don't really know where the Ia comes from. But now it's Sony because why not? Because of Sony headphones or like stuff or like that animation, the Sonic the Hedgehog Sony animations, you know, Sony Pictures. Oh, did I just guess it? What did you guess? It wasn't Sunny. Sunny. I mean, I guess I was considering the name Sunny, but then I was like, no, that I don't like that. But like Sunny with a O, so Sonny, and then I was like Sonny, Sonny, and then yeah. So like I wanted to be different. Well, not different, but like unique, which is another term for different. But like I guess my name is just Sonny, which kind of sounds like whatever name in real life I have. Kind of, not really. So yeah. Hi, you're so Sigma. Who are you? Yasmin. Hi, Yasmin. I think you're Sigma too. I love your reading. Thanks. That's nice. Thanks. I think I stutter a lot though. I'm trying to improve. Okay, I thought you typed something bad there, Mason. I was gonna be like, what? Why would you say that? But it's wowie, not whoa or wowie, not the other one, not the one beginning with an H, because I had to see the first letter. Hello again, Mason. Oh, you're talking to Yasmin. Yeah, Mason says hello to Yasmin. That makes more sense because because Mason's a nice person. They're really nice and silly. And anyway, you're so skibbity. You're so skibbity too, Yasmin. You seem like a lovely person. Very phantom tax of you. And that's it. We're getting brain rotted. She smiled triumphantly. I'm not gonna try to say it again because I just give up. Letting him follow her the rest of the route. Well, we're here now. Have a nice day, Meepet said, watching her walk back outside. She waved back, watching him begin to walk back through the hall. He had actually bought her lie. She had gotten lucky back there, and she knew it. And she wasn't going to put that luck to nothing now. You finally got your bag? Knife asked. Test tube nodded. Walking over to the car, she pulled the door open before hopping in, sitting down at her spot with her bag in her lap. Knife entered the car as well, the engine already running with the air conditioning on. It didn't take long for him to start driving. Test tube couldn't keep the smile off her face, the feeling of success running through her, but she wasn't quite done yet. She still had a couple more precautions to take. She had to make sure OJ didn't do anything, and she knew exactly how she was going to do that. Ooh, cliffhanger, cliffhanger. Wait, I the only person here? You're the only person here? Really? Whoa. Thanks for being here. Now we're on chapter 37. Thoughts? No, yeah, Mason's here. Although it's kind of broke. Oh, now it popped back up. Now we have 3 people. Well, before it was lagging and said 1 person. And now it says 2 person. So that must be Yasmin and Mason. I must still hear... Heary? Still? Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of silly, the little YouTube thingy. It was crazy because when I first hopped onto Mason's stream today, he had 20 people watching, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. But I was like, okay, why aren't those 20 people talking in chat? And then the numbers literally shot down to 17, and then it shot down to 11, and shot down to 5, and then it shot down to 2. So, yeah. Voice crack. Paper picked up a pair of headphones, looking at them. All right, I think this is the last thing. Where should I put them? He asked, turning to suitcase. I'm gonna try my suitcase impression, which is really gonna suck. Oh, those? Just put them on the table. I'm sure I'm gonna use them in a bit. I really tried my best. That really sucked. Paper nodded, smiling to himself as he put them down. Thanks for helping me unpack, by the way. She's not British, she's Australian. I'm trying, but I can't sound Australian. I can't expand my accent range that long. Siri literally just responded to me talking in the suitcase's voice. I said suitcase, not Siri. I'm being a silly big brainer. You're being a silly little, what's little? Hamster. A silly little hamster. Okay, one moment. I think I hurt myself. I hurt my wrist, or I don't know what you call it. I think it is a wrist, maybe. I don't know, but I hurt myself. I don't know how I hurt myself, but then it just started hurting. Owie. Owie. Okay. I'm good, though. Sigma. Oh, noes. If you keep typing OE, I'm gonna automatically assume it's the other OE word that begins with an H, and then I just... Because every time I see the word O, or a word with OE, I'm like, okay, that better say a different letter, not the H. And it isn't, luckily. So, and I oop. Remember that? Or am I too old? I remember when the I like turtle meme existed. Anyone remember that? It's nothing. I'm just gonna try impressions because I'm really bored. Or not bored, but like, I'm just like trying to have fun with it, you know? Oh, I'm sorry, this is gonna be so bad. Never, just no, these are never gonna be accurate. They're never going to be accurate. It's nothing, really. Just maybe bring a bag along next time. I don't know how safe you're using yourself is. Using yourself? Oh yeah, because she's a suitcase. I don't think there's any safety hazards, though. I mean, aren't suitcases made for carrying stuff? Suitcase replied somewhat hesitantly. Yeah, just be careful, please. I don't want anyone getting hurt. Oh, right. I think I'm gonna take a walk. See you later. Sorry for the misspell. It's okay. I don't think I saw the misspell. Bahaha. Bahaha. Instead of ha ha ha, it's bahaha. Okay, so yeah, she said, walking away almost immediately. Paper let his smile drop once she walked out. He was letting this all get to him, wasn't he? It wasn't a wonder why, though. He knew very well. He walked out, going over to the living room. He was overthinking it. If OJ was here, he would say who did it, and they would get everyone else. Then they could get them back as soon as well, and everything would be said and done, and things could go back to the way they were. Maybe not exactly how they were before, but they could get as close to that. They could, right? Things could be recovered, couldn't they? Paper looked out the window. Not that type of window. Okay. You just started with an M because your name begins with an M, didn't you? I'm so silly. Yes, you are. You're so silly. Paper looked out the window, staring straight into the backyard. OJ had been sitting out there since they got back. It didn't look like he had moved at all either. He knew he was being a bit obnoxious at this point, but he couldn't help but be concerned. He sighed, ditching his previous plan to go to the living room and gently opening the door. OJ turned around, hearing the hinges heave, but turned back almost immediately afterwards. Loud silence echoed through the blades of grass, except for the white noise of leaves ruffling and bugs skittering around. He never said anything about it, but OJ always had a slight soft spot for nature. And he'd like to meet Leafy and Tree How would he react if he knew nature was alive? I mean, I think there is a few. Maybe there's contestants who are like plants or people who are plants. I don't know. Whatever happened to those other boxes who were being casted as box? Did Mifon just get rid of them, or were they like in where his conscious was and where they were after they got deleted? Oh, what happened here? Someone joined the live. I want to post a teaser, but Mr. X verse said not yet. I'm hesitating so hard. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Chat, can you repeat what I say, Sonny? I got to go. Okay. Bye, Yasmin. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for being here. I liked your brain rot. OJ turned around, hearing the hinges weave, but turned back almost immediately afterwards. Loud silence echoed through the blades of grass, except for the light noise of leaves rustling and bugs skittering around. He never said anything about it, but OJ had always had a slight soft spot for nature. It was nice seeing it after so long. Hey, OJ, Paper said softly, trying his best not to startle him. What are you doing? Looking at nature, OJ mumbled, not taking his eyes off the ground. It's kind of weird how much more you notice when you haven't seen it in a while, huh? I can see that, Paper said, sitting down next to OJ. So, what have you noticed, if you don't mind me asking, of course? While OJ didn't look away for a second, his face lit up. He kept the same numb, motionless stance and expression, yet so much had behind his eyes alone. Well, the background noise is more noticeable. The darker shades pop out more as well, like the grass. Piper listened to OJ ramble on for a bit, beginning to look through the grass himself. He was shockingly good at pointing out the little details he noticed. The ones Paper had grown to adjusted to, he barely noticed anymore, like the thin lines that went across almost everything living. OJ talked slowly, taking his time deciding on every word he'd say, or how he'd phrase the next sentence. It wasn't in a sluggish way. He seemed perfectly awake and aware of everything. In fact, he seemed hyper aware of every little noise, and practically admired every last thing he noticed. It was a change in character, to say the least. I got exposed! I'm back. You got exposed? Wait, you got exposed for your brain rot? Wait, what? Or what, did you get exposed? Or are you talking about the brain rot, or what? The brain rot? Yeah, well, I know all of the words come from brain rot. And I know a lot of brain rotted terms. Like, I use chat, I use gang, and blame my friends for that, honestly. But, like, sometimes they, like, Sonny, stop being brain rotted. And then I'm like, no. And then I just say a bunch of brain rot things, because that's just the way I like to act around my friends. The way I act around my friends is so much different than the way I act online, though. Mainly because none of my friends are, like, online and have the same interests as me. Even the ones that, like, do YouTube and stuff don't really have the same interests. We all have different interests once we on socials. Except for my friends. They all have common spotlights and everything on Instagram or Snapchat and stuff. Yes. GNG. Why is there no one joining? Because maybe people don't like me. I don't know. maybe they don't have the time, or maybe they don't get the notification since they don't turn on the notification bell, or maybe they don't join because they don't know who I am and they just like my other content like voiceovers and edits, which I should really do an edit because I haven't done one in like a few months, I feel like. What's your Roblox user? I'm a friend to you. How did you know I had? Oh yeah, because I have the stream. Oh, let me think. Should I? Should I say my Roblox user? I'll make a poll. I really don't know. This is just silly because I already know the answer to this. There's no one except me, remember? It says there's 2 people. I'm pretty sure Mason's still here. He's just being quiet. Thanks. I'm gonna make the crunchy noise. I don't know if you heard that. Anyway. After some time, Paper couldn't tell how long due to the awkward pacing of OJ's voice. He noticed OJ had stopped talking, instead of watching the trees somberly. Hey, are you okay? No response. No, OJ said abruptly, catching Paper off guard. No, I'm not okay. I don't think so, at least. But I don't want to be okay either. So I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It took Paper a moment to realize OJ had finished his thoughts there. OJ, that's not a good thing. I know you're not going to recover immediately, but you still need to begin to recover. But what if I don't want to just yet? OJ said. That same unfamiliar tone that felt so monotone, yet had so much emotion behind it. Simultaneously lacing his voice. I know I have to go on with my life eventually, but what if I procrastinate it on a little? I don't want to be okay just yet. Paper tried to think of a good response. Well, why not? Down there, I made a promise with someone that we'd escape together through no other method but the entrance. To be specific with that, but I said we wouldn't escape through death. I said that a little under 2 weeks ago now, and when I said it, I meant it with every bit of truth I had, and now it turned out to be a lie. He took a moment to steady his breathings. Breathing. Okay. Sonny, speak to me if you want to play Cookie Run Kingdom. Oh, Cookie Kingdom. Or I guess user in general. Well, I could give you my user for Cookie Run. It's in the Dark Cacao server though. I don't know if we have the same thing. But if you have Dark Cacao server, my Cookie Run is I think it's either I think it is capital. I think either try capital or lowercase s at the beginning. I don't really remember. It's the word sweet and then it's Neey. So sweet to me. I have PV server. Wah. Well, I don't know. Well, I don't know. Well, I was thinking about making an alt account because I can do that, but I just don't know which server I would make it in. So, yeah, I might make an alt account, but I don't know which server that would be in then. Either Hollyberry or Pure Vanilla, but I don't know which one. Anyway, I'm gonna stop the poll. Anyway, yeah, the answer is yes. With one vote. But my Roblox user is just, let me say this once and only once. Starlight, 135627. There. And if that's not it, then I kind of forgot what it was. Or it's 29, or not 27. 29. 29 or 27? Let me look. I kind of forgot. Okay. Okay. Oh no, it's 25. Well, I got it wrong, so it's 135625, so there. And it's all lowercase for the Starlight, and yeah. Not really sure. I mean, you know, I did this fun thing in Cookie Run Kingdom. You know, the little line they make with everyone, and they do the pickaxe thing in the line. I did that with like 2 other people, but like there's this one person who started it and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna type it. Starlight 1135627. It's not 27. It's 25. Hi, experts. How's your day? Yes. Well, that's what happens in CRK. I'm really trying to get through this chapter, but I keep talking because I have something called Yap syndrome, or I don't know what else. What else is there for like sickness things? There's like I have the yap infection or something. I don't know. Hi. Take a break. Take a break to talk. What is that face? I'm really trying to get locked in to read things, but like, I know this is supposed to be chit chat and reading, so I guess that's like it. But like, I feel like I haven't been doing a lot of reading. I mean, I think I have, but I don't know. Yes. Well, let me finish like 2 more paragraphs. I'm not saying that because that's gonna sound something. I'm animating. What does that mean? I think you said something. That sounds wrong, Mason. That sounds so wrong. Don't say that. I'ma just do triphobia meme. I'm crazy today. Okay, it's fine. Everyone's a little crazy. Oh yeah, you just realized what that sounds like. It's just like that like, don't you remember that time in Versus stream they said like, I don't know, something about WAP, and then you're like, do you know what that means? And then he was like, no, and then I was like, in real life I was like, oh, you don't know, oh, it's a song. Yeah, I am like actually locked in. Like, I'm about to do one of the most crazy and impressive things right now in my animating. I'm gonna be so proud of you when that I get to see it. Who said that? Who said that? Actually, I'm right now proud of you for that. So yeah. Who said that? Who said that? Who said what? I don't know. I kind of forgot. Oh God, X versus so is too innocent. He just single-handedly said that. He single-handedly asked what WAP was. That's crazy. There's still hope in this world because I feel like Verse is like a very nice, like genuinely nice person. Very nice person. Very nice. BFDIA 21 was beautiful. It was. And hello, TCJ Cat. I said, who said that? Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? That's what I did in my Disventure Camp voiceover. I was like, and then I said the word, and then I was like, who said that? Who said that? It wasn't a bad word. It was just the word I used for, well, Yuri. I said Yuri, and then I coughed, and I was like, who said that? Who said that? My friend X-Verse did. He said, whap, whap, whap. Is that how you spell it? I will, yeah, okay. Yeah, like, because it's in the song. I literally, you know, I before didn't even know what that meant either, because I was like, I don't know how old I was, but like I was like in 4th or 5th grade watching the I don't know, some kid stuff, and then they were like saying that, and I was just like, what? So I looked up the song, and that's how I learned, and yeah. Sigma, I'm not, it, yeah, okay, well, maybe, don't, you're overdoing it with the brain rot here, Jasmine. Yasmin, sorry, blah. I keep mispronouncing things. We gotta chill out with our brain rotted selves. Said hi. Said hi. Is that like an actual thing or something? I can't see. It's gay. I'm gonna read another paragraph. You're so silly. Oh, silly vanilla. It's very good. I like that because Black Sapphire's voice actor said that as well, and then Candy Apple's voice actor. I feel guilty for a lack of better words. I feel guilty because I promised her that we'd all make it out alive, and I went and got myself killed for not even 2 weeks after that. It doesn't feel right trying to be happy when I know they're still down there. Not when I've broken the only promise I made down there. And in a way, I haven't even escaped. If I don't let myself be out of there mentally until we've freed the others, then I can at least keep part of that promise intact. So, no, I'm not okay, and I want it to stay that way until I get everyone out. This time, Paper didn't know how to respond. The words wouldn't come out of him, wouldn't come to him, no matter how hard he searched for them. OJ didn't say anything either, going back to staring at the trees. Crickets chirping were the only things that broke the silence. He looked up at the sky. It was darkening, and although the sun was still visible, he could see that faint outline of the moon. Wanna play Roblox? Okay, seriously, I gotta go. Bye. See you later. See you later, Yasmin. Bye. Have a good day. Or good rest of your day because it's coming close to an end of the day. Why did I say it like that? Like that was kind of ominous. Like, yeah, I'm gonna end the word. I can't get golden out of my head. Dang it. It's 9 a.m. for me. Well, that's early. It's the opposite for me. Yeah, I just woke up. You just woke up to my stream. Like, that's crazy how time zones work. Like, someone who is literally the exact opposite of the time is in AM right now watching the stream that's happening in PM for me right now because it's late for me, technically speaking. Oh, yeah. Yeah, well Mason's only an hour ahead of me, so technically it's later for him. My stomach is growling, mainly because I starved myself. I will be back. Speaking of being hungry, I'm gonna go eat, but not yet because I have to finish this chapter because I actually locked in. Like technically I could eat right now, but like I don't want to have a mouthful and reading, and that just kind of sucks. So yeah, don't want to choke. I really don't want to choke. So I'm just gonna finish the chapter slash talk. So yeah. So when this chapter ends, stream ends. So yeah. Just everyone just types in chat to stall more. Guess who's back again? Guess you keep saying you're gonna leave and then you just come back. I don't know. It's like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Kind of thing, but not really because it's not really that. It's not that deep, honestly. He looked up at the sky. It was darkening, and although the sun was still visible, he could see a faint outline of the moon. Guess I don't know either. Oh, well, I don't know what you're trying to say at this point, you silly. I always come back. The joys of creation. The joys of creation. Yeah, we love creating things. It's getting late. We should go back inside, Paper said, a little more morose than he wanted. OJ kept his silence up, sitting up and walking back inside without a word. Paper distantly followed him. He considered just booking it to his room and giving himself a moment to think. Rooms. Oh my god, OJ didn't have a room yet. Do you need a room? There's still some empty ones if you need them. Sure, OJ said glumly. Looking for a room while feeling a low was definitely an odd experience, but eventually they got OJ into one. He closed the door, and although it wasn't locked, something told Paper he didn't want anyone entering. He thought for a moment as he walked by, going over to the kitchen to help with making dinner. His mind was racing, yet didn't think simple coherent thought that was until one bubble to the surface above all the others. Was he rushing OJ? Question mark. By the way, I friended you in Roblox. Wowie, this is amazing. What's amazing? Me rating or what? Go to Uzi or something. I'm gonna see your friend request. Jade. Are you mafioso at Brinley Yasmin? Because that seems like you. You're something Uzi or something? What does that mean? Okay, I added you. Now I'm just trying to finish this chapter. The question lingered in the front of Paper's mind, making itself comfortable there. He thought about it for a moment. He wasn't rushing OJ. He was rushing OJ? Was it OJ? He was I don't know what I'm saying. I'm the mafioso. Yes, I'm mafioso. Yeah, I'm mafioso. Hey, I have a question. If you do another improv stream and someone tells you to be remote or TV, then are you gonna do it? Yeah, probably. I'll pull up. I will do my best robotic voice because I can't just pull up the app or the website you said because I actually have to act and be robotic. So yeah. What your username is in Roblox? Uh, well, I feel like I wish I could type it, but I can't because right now I'm live, so I can't really type things. The only thing I can do is start polls. So let me just type my username in the poll. There, it's in the poll. So they're all the right answers, by the way. I just don't know how to get it. So there. They're all the right answers. So that's my user for Roblox. So yeah. Who was him with him? Not where he had been. Nothing but that he had died. And that promise, that Paper knew so little about, and yet he knew that was important in some way. OJ almost never made promises, and when he did, it was because he knew he'd follow through with it. Breaking something like that couldn't be good for someone with his mentality, especially when he had none of his usual distractions to keep his mind off of it. Paper was rushing him, and he wouldn't try to say he wasn't, convince himself he was right instead. He'd let OJ do his morning as long as he didn't interfere with any of the search, or rather rescue. All they had to do now was ask him where and who, didn't they? A part of him felt a bit relieved that he had come to the conclusion. He placed a carrot on the cutting board, hoping the cooking would help calm him down. He just needed to trust OJ would be okay in the end. So, check. Hello, hi Fire! Kind of late for this, but yeah. Let me end the poll now, because I can't see chat now. I watched the moon let it run my mood. Are you trying to be a poet right now? I don't know. I'm just trying to finish this chapter. And I'm also I'm multitasking reading chat because I'm trying to not make chat feel ignored because I see you, chat. I see every one of you. I say hi to every one of you and ask how all of you are because I know this is gonna sound really cringy, but you matter, and if you're alive and if you're doing okay, because that matters. And just know there's always going to be someone who cares about you in the world. And I'm sorry if that was cringy, but I feel like people have to hear that more often. Have you ever heard of a song called Tech It? No, I haven't. Yasmin, what are you saying? Who said that? That was you who said that. I am not saying what Yasmin typed. Irritation, boredom, guilt, mourning, wanting, sorrow, confined, an uncomfortable amount of emotions went through OJ, and not a single one was positive. He plugged his cork into the top of his glass so the new juice inside him wouldn't spill out, and collapsed onto the bed, not bothering to get under the covers. It was weird. He thought he'd finally feel like himself once he got his original contents back. Once the test stopped, and he did physically, but mentally, that was a whole different question. He certainly didn't feel like himself in his head, the object who had won the first season, who took almost everything that happened to him with the stride. The one who learned to work hard no matter how much it stressed him. That object didn't feel anything like himself. He took a deep breath of air and exhaled slowly. The half moon shone over the house through the window, making OJ's room just a little bit brighter. The sky was a shade of violet. The carpet was soft, but not bouncy. The bed, on the other hand, it was strange how much more you notice about these things after being away from them so long. The air was filled with a slight buzz of the lights above him. I didn't say that. Yes, you did, Yasmin. Everyone heard it. Everyone heard you. But that's fine. Because they're, like, I don't know. Wowie. You're just saying random words. That's that's basically what's happening now. Everyone's just saying whatever they feel like right now. Like I mean, I'm lucky that no one is typing curse words. At least that's never happened. Now that I said that has never happened, it's going to happen, isn't it? Hopefully not. I mean, I don't have like there isn't that many people, so that's why I don't have any mods. Or like I don't want to really I feel like I could handle things on my own. Like the minimum I get for people watching my streams are like 1, 2, 3, and then the maximum probably like 10 or 12, or not even 12, probably just 10, probably at the max, or 15. I don't know. I don't really remember the last time I had that many people on, but it's really not that much. Job application. It makes me think about that one song. Work like a job application. You know, the beginning bit of that song is kind of inappropriate, but the after part just makes me imagine that one time Mason is just like, verse, get a job application and stuff like that, you know? Bleh. Bleh. And footsteps. He heard footsteps a little ways down the hall from outside. He froze, stopping his thinking process entirely by pure instinct. Maybe he was just being paranoid, but the pattern was just like... The door swung open. Test tube. She stood in the doorway. OJ didn't move an inch, staring at her. He hoped someone would drag her away from him. He didn't have the mental strength to talk to her right now, but people walked by, glancing at them, but not thinking much of it. "Hey, OJ," Testube said softly. Her voice set to deceive the others. "I know you wanted some time alone, but I just wanted to talk to you about something. You seem like you need it." OJ was 5 seconds away from telling her no, but she tugged on the bag and was slung across her shoulder, exactly how she had before. "Fine." She smiled, walking into the room and closing the door behind her. OJ sat up, taking the cork out and placing it on the bedside. She closed the curtains of the windows before sitting next to him on the bed. "What do you want?" OJ said bluntly. "Hey, no need for violence." "For the violence," Testu said, setting the bag in her lap. She put on some gloves before unzipping it. "I just thought there were a few things you wanted to see, to give you some ideas, if that makes sense." Cut it with the indirect wording. "It's just us in here." "Well, if that's what you want." She opened her bag, a light blue glow coming out of it. Well, that caught OJ's attention. He stared at it until Test Tube pulled out what seemingly was the source of light. A blue gem, exactly like... "I'm guessing you recognize this from somewhere?" Test Tube asked rhetorically. "I said a word properly! I said a hard word properly! I said a word that was how to pronounce it. I said it. I'm proud of myself. Yay. Yippee. I don't know. I think you said that before I actually said I was proud of myself for saying a word properly. I don't know. But I said it. I didn't stutter. I didn't even have time to mistake my try and say words. But I did it. Yay. It's one of the gems from episode 13. How do you get it? That's exactly what I'd like to show you, Test Tube chimed, pulling out her phone. She tapped in the passcode away from OJ's vision. Before letting him see the screen, she went into the photos and selected a certain one at the start. OJ blinked. He didn't believe it. But it was right there, the receive center, and if he had to guess what happened right after it, gone. I know, you don't have to repeat what you said, Test-Tube muttered, but immediately uppered her tone afterwards. Apparently, when you remove one of his memories, it appears as this. I believe it's called a gemery, based on the cave's name. A clever name, isn't it? Oh, he didn't respond. You're smart. I'm sure you figured out what this means already. I wouldn't test my limits. If I were you, I won't do anything as long as you stay quiet. Make up an excuse or two if you find it necessary. She put everything back in the bag and zipped it shut again. Without another word, she stood up and strode towards the door. She's so evil. I hate her, but I also love the fact that she's evil like this. It's the loving, the hate. You love the hate, kind of like Fanny. Okay, that's where I relate to Fanny in that, because you love to hate things or people. You know, we're coming close to the end of the chapter, guys. Meaning we're coming close to the end of the stream, guys. So yeah. Don't do anything out of line, okay? She asked as she opened the door. Her smile looked so sweet that OJ almost felt it was genuine, but everything else that was contracted it reminded him it wasn't. Well, technically it is genuine. She's genuinely feeling like she won. So, yeah. No, not the end. Well, you could type in chat to stall a little longer. That's an idea. I don't know why I said it out loud. I shouldn't have given you that idea. Don't do that. Because I'm hungry. The last sound he heard was the shutting of the door. Then it went back to the slight buzz, near silent, yet defending at the moment. Part of him was glad his interactions with Testu went by so quickly like that. Every word tended to feel like a wound being stretched open at the same time, however. It was inconvenient how he'd be left processing it all for sometimes hours afterwards. This time was no different. He didn't know how long he spent staring at this wall, waiting for it to click in his brain what it all meant. The lack of control, how they were still in danger, how they were all in danger now. He knew, of course, he just wanted to be prepared for the unfortunate moment of when it would hit him emotionally. Maybe he was just too tired. It had been close to an entire day from when he actually slept. For a good while, at least 10 minutes, OJ would think. Maybe an hour. He did nothing but sit and think. Not deep thoughts, but just subconscious ones. He'd have no memory of mere seconds later. It was only when he heard familiar sound of footsteps that he snapped out of it. He listened to the pattern. No, they were too close together to be test tubes this time. More of a pitter-patter than a viol's stride. He fixed himself the best he could, turning towards the door as it gently opened. Nickel, dinner's ready, he said, stepping aside. OJ was dead still for a moment. He wasn't hungry. But I am, OJ, so hurry up and finish your thought process. Sorry. He almost voiced that thought, but stopped himself from doing so at a certain memory of his coming. He said drearily sitting up. One way or another, he'd do it. Oh, wait, I thought it was Nickel saying that. Let me rephrase that. Coming, he said drearily, sitting up. One way or another, he'd do it. This has to end at some point. Well, this stream is going to end at some point, which is going to be after this next sentence or two. Even if he had to work alone, he took a deep breath before he forced himself to walk to the door, shutting it behind him. Okay, well, this is about to be the last sentence. So let me read before I read the last sentence, and then I do like a recap. So, yeah. Or not the recap, but like a summary. So, Robody survived an elimination. Random fact. Well, that was random. Well, that was random. That's all I had to say. Anyway, I'm going to read the last line of this. Once again, the room was empty, besides for the electrical buzz of the light above it. That was such a good chapter. That was such a good chapter. My voice is straining. Anyway. Summary, test tube, basically, well, shit, I took a screenshot. I don't need a screenshot. Okay. Anyway, so basically, summary. Test tube deleted, Miphone's memory of her tackling him and deleting the data of the respawn center because that's no longer in Ferber. Said hi, no more, and we gotta end this after the summary. I wasn't gonna just end it right away. I was just like, end stream. No, I gotta, I'm gonna say that, voice tired. Oh my gosh. So basically, I gotta say, what happened else? Okay, yeah, and then, like, talk to OJ, and then OJ is just still, like, I can't tell people now. Dang it. You really should have told Paper, OJ, like, right there and then. Oh my gosh. Anyway, that's what happened in Hall 17. And I always do last time on Hall 17 because that's, like, nostalgic. But, like, I feel like no one's there for when I say that. And that's what you missed on Hall 17. I like saying that. Anyway, anyone want to say anything before I go? Because I'm literally starving myself. Not starving myself, but like I haven't, I don't know. I won't explain it too much because that's too much detail. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, I'm gonna go eat. And sad face, smiley face, sad face. Well, Leafy is a good character there. I like Leafy. I like BFDIA Leafy. And like just thinking back to BFDIA Leafy and now thinking to BFB Leafy, I'm just like thinking like, where did her somewhat sass go? I mean, she's still kind of sassy-ish, I don't know, in BFB. She's like, I knew you didn't forget about me, Fiery, and then she's like, I know you remember me, dum dum. The dum dum is always my favorite line for Leafy. Well, thank you to everyone who stopped by. I don't know. Thanks to those who are still here, and thanks to those. Please take care. And that was it. And I don't know. I mean, maybe I will stream next week, but I wasn't really. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe there will be a Wattpad Wednesday or just a normal chit chat because that might be all I have for that. So I don't know. So yeah, can we get Suitcase and Leafy on stream? Well, I don't know when I'm doing another improv stream, so I'll have a vote for that. And then I'll make a schedule in August, which will probably include an improv stream if everyone wants that. So yeah. Bye, and that's it. Sadage. cheer up, bud. Keep your head high or something like that. I don't know. Trying to give advice. And just work hard and don't burn yourself out and try not to be depressed. Yeah.